How's it going, everybody? David Hedge here, House Hedge Gaming. And even though we are less than a week away from Gen Con 2025, and I've been getting stuff prepped for that and everything, still got stuff going on, we are also less than a week away from SummerSlam, WWE's next big PLE, the biggest party of the summer. Now, I wasn't able to do Money in the Bank due to my scheduling, but you know what? I wanted to make sure to do SummerSlam's predictions and review, and I'm going to do that, the predictions today, and hopefully shortly after Gen Con get the review up, because I still wanted to keep a promise that I made to at least hit the big five, but it's actually going to be the big four this year, and hopefully be able to continue that as a little side thing here on the channel going forward. But without any further ado, let's get started and go over what's going to be taking place the same weekend as Gen Con at SummerSlam. All right, first up, for the Intercontinental Championship, Dominic Mysterio will be defending against AJ Styles. Now, this is a match that was supposed to happen at Night of Champions, but due to Dominic getting injured, he was not able to defend, so they have been basically building it up by AJ keeping a close eye on Dominic. He has been moonlighting as a chauffeur and a janitor, and he has been sneaking around, keeping an eye on Dominic, so as soon as he was cleared, he was going to be able to get his match for the IC belt. As of this past Monday, Dominic has been cleared, and now he is ready to take on AJ, but I don't think he's ready to face AJ. I do believe at SummerSlam, AJ Styles will be winning the IC Championship, even though Dominic has done a pretty good job with the belt ever since WrestleMania, but I do believe the Phenomenal One is definitely going to be walking out as your new Intercontinental Champion. Next up, in a steel cage, Solo Sikoa will be defending the United States Championship against Jacob Fatu. Now, I think Solo has come into his own with his MFTs, his family tree, with his new faction. It's no longer a bloodline, which I think is a great idea. Just distance it from the OG bloodline, from the bloodline storyline, have it be his family tree. And I think Solo has definitely come into his own. He's been doing some great stuff as the United States champion. And now with Jacob Fatu as a chaser of the belt once again, Jacob has done some amazing work. He has broken out from the bloodline storyline. He has become pretty much a superstar. And I can see him going for world championships later on down the line. But him and Solo in a steel cage is going to be insane. I could see Jacob definitely doing a moonsault off the top of the cage. I could see Solo getting destroyed. And at the end of the day, Jacob Fatu will once again be your new United States champion. Up next, for the Women's Tag Team Championships, the Judgment Day representatives Roxanne Perez and Raquel Rodriguez will be going against Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss. Now, originally it was supposed to be Charlotte Flair versus Alexa Bliss at SummerSlam, but you know what? After what we saw at Evolution, with Charlotte getting one heck of a babyface ovation, teaming with Alexa Bliss, I can see them keeping them around, and I would love to see Charlotte and Alexa keep that frenemies relationship going on. I think it went a little bit more than just the can they really coexist. They have done a really good job, and I know my light just went out, so I'm just going to keep it rolling. I know they've done a really good job of keeping Alexa and Charlotte as a tag team and being able to play off each other, and now having them go for the tag team championships against the makeshift team, if you will, of Roxanne and Raquel. I do believe that it's going to be a fine match. It's going to be a great match, great time. But I would love to see Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss win the championships and be able to continue this friendship going into Survivor Series. But only time will tell. But my prediction for this match is that we will have new tag team champions, as Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss will walk out and leave the Judgment Day 2 less titles going into future plans after SummerSlam. Next up, for the Women's Intercontinental Championship, no disqualifications, no countouts. Last match, it is Becky Lynch defending against Lyra Valkyria. Now, these two have had some amazing matches in the past. They have great chemistry together. The triple threat that they had with Bayley at Evolution was fantastic, but now we get no disqualification, no countouts, and the caveat that if Lyra Valkyria loses the match, she could no longer challenge for the Intercontinental Championship as long as Becky Lynch is holding the belt. But I think these two have the potential of having the match of the weekend. They're going to beat the holy crap out of each other. They're probably going to brawl all over the place. But in the end, Unfortunately for Lyra, I think that Becky Lynch will retain the belt and she will once again just be a victor in this feud and be able to continue on in future plans. Next up, for the Women's World Championship in a triple threat, Naomi will face Rhea Ripley and Io Sky. Now, at Evolution, Naomi was able to cash in Money in the Bank to get the title from Rhea and Io after they were having one hell of a match at Evolution to close down the show. And then right after a giant move off the top, the Spanish Fly, that's when we saw Naomi cash in, make it a triple threat, win the match, win the belt, and now Naomi still being this maniacal, chaotic, caution character that she has developed. I love seeing it. I'm glad she's a champion, but going into this, her title reign is definitely in jeopardy. You have Rhea Ripley, who's hell-bent on getting back her title. You have Io Sky, who wants to still become champion, but also continue to prove herself. And I could see these three having a match of the year candidate. We had that with Bianca, Rhea, and Io at WrestleMania, and I could see it happening here. I would love to see Rhea win the championship. I would love for her to regain it. But I also would not be surprised if Naomi retains and then faces off against Jade later on down the line in somewhat of a champion-champion match. And that's giving a spoiler for what I'm going to be predicting later on. But my prediction for this match at SummerSlam is that Rhea Ripley will retain her championship, but I wouldn't be surprised if the Caution era still carries on with Naomi winning as well. Next up, for the World Heavyweight Championship, Gunther will be taking on CM Punk. Now, this match has it definitely has a lot of stuff going on with it because you have CM Punk and Gunther, who is having a short build to this match. I would love to see Punk win. Gunther, I hate that he would become a transitional champion. I would love to see him just carry the championship for a long time, but I could see Punk winning it. I can also see some way, somehow, this whole thing with Seth Rollins being injured just be one of the biggest works that has ever happened in wrestling in a long time as he comes in and cashes in on Punk, gets the championship from him, and just goes, and just becomes the new champ and becomes the leader once again of the faction with him and Braun and Reed and Paul Heyman as the Oracle. I can see that happening. We have seen this happen before. Sandman back in ECW was blinded by an attack because of a cigarette going up into his face after a kendo shot and everything. And he was blinded and he stayed at home for like 3 weeks. He did not take off the bandages. Every time he went out, he had those bandages on and he would basically, everybody was believing, oh crap, he really did get blinded. He has to retire. And then when he ripped off the glasses, ripped off the bandages and everything and started canning the living crap out of Tommy Dreamer, everybody went crazy. I could see that happening with Seth Rollins here. If it is legit imagery, yes, legit imagery to pronounce that Seth Rollins is legitimately injured. Try saying that 5 times fast. But if it does prove that Seth Rollins is actually injured, I wish him a speedy recovery. I would love to see him get back in the ring because everything he's been doing recently has been amazing. But if Punk wins, don't be surprised if Seth Rollins comes out and burns it down and becomes your new World Heavyweight Champion. But barring that, if we take the Seth Rollins factor out of it, Gunther and CM Punk straight up against each other, I do believe that Cult of Personality will be ringing out at SummerSlam as CM Punk will be your new World Heavyweight Champion. Next up, we have Randy Orton and Jelly Roll versus Drew McIntyre and Logan Paul. Now, I know what everybody's saying. Jelly Roll in the ring. Why? So, I do not have any problems with celebrities getting into wrestling matches. It has definitely evolved from what we've had in the past with Mr. T, with Lawrence Taylor, with Snooki, even though like the latter two, like each one held their own in their own respects during that time. But as of late, we have been seeing a lot more out of celebrity matches with Floyd Money Mayweather and Big Show. That was a tremendous fight that they had. Bad Bunny set a brand new standard, especially with the street fight against Damian Priest a while back. Logan Paul has been doing some amazing work, even though it frustrates the bejesus out of me because he's still new to the business, but he has that it. He has the knowledge of what to do in the ring. He has the physical attributes to be able to perform it. And he has been learning more and more every time he gets in the ring. And he has been undoubtedly one of the best celebrity performers in the ring. To transition from a celebrity to a wrestler, he has done it pretty much seamlessly. And like I said, it frustrates the living daylights out of me that I have to admit that, because I know that he has dealings outside of the ring. A lot of people are not popular with, but you know what? You can't deny that in the ring, Logan Paul is an amazing athlete and has done a tremendous job since getting into WWE. I am really excited to see what Jelly Roll can do. And he's looking great. He looks like a brand new person, and he has been dedicating himself to be able to do this match. And it's one thing if a celebrity goes, "Oh, I got a match? Cool. I'm just going to learn the very basics. I'm not going to do a dang thing much. We're just going to have fun." But Jelly Roll is taking it seriously. You can actually see that from his most recent appearance on covering the Jimmy Kimmel Live show, where he gave a choke slam to Logan Paul through a table. A sentence I never thought I'd say, but you know what? Here we are. When Jelly Roll did the exact same thing against A-Town Down not too long ago, he did a choke slam, but he did not even put his hand on the back, because as a lot of people know in wrestling is a violent soap opera, is the best way I could put it. And to make sure that an opponent goes flat on their back, you put your hand on their back, pick them up, and then you do the down. He didn't do that against Austin Theory, but he did that against Logan Paul. So he is definitely learning more and more of what to do in the ring, and I'm very excited to see what Jelly Roll can do. Now, I know a lot of people are thinking, "Oh, this is a far cry from what Drew McIntyre has been doing recently." Randy Orton's just having a lot of fun. Like when he had his match with Joe Hendry, I wish it would have been longer, but the time he had with Joe Hendry, he was just having a blast with it. Drew McIntyre, he's still, anytime he's given anything, he makes it the best possible. And I think they've been doing that very well with the short build between these two teams. But in the end, I can see Jelly Roll getting the win against Logan Paul. I would love to see Jelly Roll pin Logan Paul. I don't know what his finisher is going to be. Hopefully it's not just a small package and they call it the Jelly Roll. Let it be something cool. Let it be something that fans would not be expecting. But I could see in the end Randy Orton and Jelly Roll getting the win over Drew McIntyre and Logan Paul. Next up, for the WWE Women's Championship, Tiffany Stratton will be defending the championship against Jade Cargill. I mentioned it a little bit early. I do believe Jade Cargill is going to win this. I think Tiffany has done a fine job with the belt, but you know what? Jade has been building up more and more since coming to WWE. She has been getting polished because she was a little bit rough around the edges because she had the mystique and the aura in AEW, but she did not have the full wrestling package that she has now in WWE. Granted, yes, a few of her matches have been rough, but you know what? She has still been learning. She has been getting better. And I think the street fight that she had with Naomi at Evolution proved that she can do a lot more now than what she did in AEW. And I think Stratton and Jade can have a really good match. Stratton being a gifted athlete, Jade just being a powerhouse. Let them play off each other. But in the end, I can see Jade Cargill becoming the new WWE Women's Champion. And if Naomi retains earlier on in the triple threat, I could see her going up to the stage, holding her belt, Jade holding her new belt. And at some point down the line, those two are going to have a champion versus champion to settle that grudge once and for all. But I do see at this event, Jade Cargill becoming the new WWE Women's Champion. Last but not least, in a street fight, John Cena going up against Cody Rhodes. Now, Cena going in as the undisputed WWE Champion, and Cody is trying to regain that belt after what happened at WrestleMania. Now, this whole thing with John Cena becoming a heel earlier this year has been one of the most mixed up things that we have seen in WWE in quite some time. The heel turn was perfect. It was fantastic. But we went from that to Travis Scott interfering at WrestleMania, which made no sense whatsoever. It should have been The Rock, but The Rock said he wasn't going to be at WrestleMania. And he tried to give an explanation as to why he wasn't going to be at WrestleMania, but it didn't make sense. And that's the one thing that has frustrated the holy crap out of me. We could have had The Rock go, you know what? I tried to buy Cody's soul. I wanted Cody's soul. But if I can't have it, I got the next best thing. I got John Cena's. Because John Cena wanted this. John Cena needed the championship one more time to break the record, to solidify his legacy. And I got it. I got it for him. And we never got it. And so this whole thing with Cena being a heel has not set the world on fire. He's had good stuff with Ron Killings, R-Truth, after the whole thing with Truth getting fired, after he had a really good match with Cena at Saturday Night's Main Event. And then R-Truth came back. He was rehired. He cut his hair. He became Ron Killings. And he's been doing really good work since. John Cena against CM Punk was a really good match. Punk should have won that. Didn't do it. But you know what? It is what it is. Cena against Orton was fine. But we have not had that world ablaze title defenses that we were hoping we would get with Cena, even though he's saying he's going to kill wrestling. But John Cena said he was going to ruin wrestling. And he was going to take the Undisputed Championship. He was going to go home with it. And he was never going to let anybody see it again. And then from that point on, anybody that was a champion after him was a fake champion. But it really hasn't done much. And now we have Cody Rhodes becoming the new number one contender after King of the Ring. And now he is going in to try and get his title back in a street fight against John Cena. Now, this is probably going to be one of the boldest predictions I can make on this video, because I know I have done pretty much a title change in every single title match that has currently been announced for SummerSlam. But I could see this being a double turn. Cody Rhodes doing everything that he possibly can to become champion. John Cena realizing the error of his ways and realizing that he has sold his soul. And I could see them swapping. I could see Cody Rhodes doing everything that he possibly can to beat John Cena. Cena basically showing the emotion that, what have I done? What have I stooped down to? I gave up hustle, loyalty, respect. I gave up everything. I gave up the fans. And I tried to blame it on the fans, but in turn, I can only blame myself because I sold out to myself because of a fictitious Rock promise. I can see Cody Rhodes winning the match, becoming the undisputed champion, and putting a reign of terror between now and Cena's last match. And then Cena's last match, it will be him against Cody for the Undisputed Championship one last time, and John Cena becoming the 18-time World Heavyweight Champion. An 18-time champion. Can't say world champion because he's had numerous other title reigns. But I can see John Cena becoming the champion at his retirement day. And then if Seth Rollins doesn't cash in at SummerSlam, he can cash in there. And he can ruin that night for John Cena. I could see that happening. But at SummerSlam, my prediction is a double turn. John Cena becoming babyface once again. Cody Rhodes becoming heel, becoming becoming Highlander heel, and reigning as the undisputed champion up to Cena's last match. Cena winning that match, winning the championship, and then Seth Rollins cashing in if he doesn't do it at SummerSlam. That's my prediction, is that at SummerSlam, it's going to be Cody Rhodes winning the undisputed championship, defeating John Cena, and becoming the heel that everybody knows he can be. Well, there you have it. That is my prediction of what's going to happen at SummerSlam this year during Gen Con. Now, SummerSlam is a 2-night event this year. It's going to be an amazing event. I'm going to try to watch it after Gen Con, and hopefully I'll be able to do a review shortly after that. But after the reviews, after Gen Con wrap-ups and everything, I'll be taking a little bit of a break because it's going to be a lot of video content coming your way in the next few weeks. And hopefully you'll join us for all the coverage of Gen Con. Join me for the review for SummerSlam, and hopefully you enjoy it. But thank you all so much for checking out this video. If you like it, please like, share, comment, and subscribe, and let everyone know that House Hedge Gaming is here for not only your gaming needs, but a little bit of wrestling as well. But until next time, everyone, stay safe and take care, my friends.